General Hospital spoilers reveal that Lois has never been one to let things spiral out of control, but this time, no matter how carefully she plans, things are gradually slipping off course. Initially, her plan to protect Joe's secret was tightly organized, but as Chase and Brook decided to change direction, the adjustments they made created a domino effect, causing everything to spiral into chaos. Lois thought she could control the game, but now, she finds herself caught up in the unexpected whirlwind caused by these changes. Chase and Brook with their own motives, are trying to adjust the plan to keep Joe's secret from prying eyes. However, these changes are not only affecting the overall plan but also making Lois, who has kept this secret for so many years, more uneasy than ever. Realizing the danger of the secret being exposed, Lois begins to take increasingly reckless and crazy actions, things that even she couldn't have anticipated. Lois no longer trusts anyone. She believes even Brook might betray her if she finds out the truth. As a result, Lois is willing to use any means to distract Brook preventing any clues that could bring her closer to the truth. She may turn to an old ally or even create new lies to cover up what happened in the past. But what Lois doesn't realize is that the more she tries to control the situation, the more she traps herself, making those around her more suspicious. Lois, who has always prided herself on her sharp instincts, now sees her own plan being steered in a direction she never anticipated. The changes made by Chase and Brook are not only causing Lois to panic but also forcing her to rethink her approach. She can't keep staying silent and hoping everything will sort itself out. If she doesn't adapt to the new situation quickly, she could lose control, something Lois has never wanted to happen. The biggest issue right now is the speed at which things are happening. Chase and Brook are slowly uncovering the clues Lois has been trying to hide, and if they keep digging, it won't be long before this secret is exposed. Lois faces a tough decision: continue to protect Geo and keep the secret, or find a way to ensure she doesn't get caught up in the consequences of what's about to happen. Meanwhile, Lois becomes more and more reckless. Her actions are no longer just small lies, but a series of bold decisions that could change everything. She's ready to manipulate, lie, and even use anyone who can help her maintain the secret. But will she really be able to control everything, or will her actions lead to her downfall? Lois knows time is running out. The adjustments in Chase and Brook plan have pushed everything into the most dangerous phase. Without a clever move right now, everything Lois has worked to build will come crashing down. But the biggest question remains: who will be the first to pay the price when this secret is exposed? Lois has never felt such a great risk. For years, she has successfully hidden the truth about Geo, ensuring no one, especially Brook could discover the boy's true identity. But now, her plan is being threatened in a way she never anticipated. Her biggest enemy is not some stranger trying to uncover secrets, but Chase, the man she once thought was just a dedicated cop, a devoted husband. But Chase is not just a companion to Brook He doesn't just listen to her confide her long-suppressed emotions, but actively helps her uncover clues leading to the truth. When Brook first confided in Chase about the child she gave up as a teenager, he was the one who encouraged her to face her past and consider finding her child. His encouragement sparked in Brook a stronger desire than ever, an unwavering determination to find her son at any cost. Lois had hoped that guilt and fear would make Brook hesitate. But now, she realizes that Chase is the one fueling that determination. He's the one keeping Brook from forgetting the past. He's the one who's brought her closer to the truth, a truth Lois has been trying to bury for years. If Chase continues to interfere, everything Lois has worked so hard to hide will be exposed. She knows she must act before everything spirals out of control. But removing Chase is no easy task. She can't openly confront him, as it would only make Brook suspicious. Instead, Lois needs a more sophisticated plan, a plan that could make Chase lose his motivation, trust, or even his place in Brook life. First, Lois begins to plant doubt in her daughter's mind. She carefully selects her words and actions to make Brook question Chase. Does he really want to help her find her son, or is there another hidden motive? Is Chase hiding something? Lois knows that if she can place just one small piece of doubt in the right spot, it could grow into an unrepairable rift. But Lois doesn't stop there. She also finds ways to make things difficult for Chase in other ways. An anonymous phone call to Chase's superior with a vague accusation could get him investigated. A small mishap at work could lead to his suspension. Lois knows that Chase is a principled cop, and if she can entangle him in an awkward situation, a controversial case, a bad decision, he may lose his focus on Brooklyn. But even if these efforts fail, Lois still has other trump cards. She could turn to an old ally, someone who can help her manipulate the situation in her favor. Perhaps it's someone in law enforcement, who can put Chase in a tough position. Or maybe it's an old enemy of Chase's, someone ready to exploit the situation to take him down. What Lois doesn't realize is that the more she tries to control the situation, the more dangerous it becomes. Chase is not someone who can be easily defeated. He has sharp instincts, and he's already starting to sense something is off. No matter how sophisticated Lois's moves are, they won't be able to fool him forever. And then, Brooklyn begins to notice the strange things happening. Chase is suddenly caught up in mysterious trouble that seems to come out of nowhere. Lois's words, instead of making her doubt her husband, make her start to wonder why her mother is so concerned about it. Is Lois hiding something? What Lois once thought was a perfect plan is now slowly backfiring. She targeted Chase to protect her secret, but in the process, she may have pushed herself into a dangerous position. If Chase and Brooklyn start to suspect her, they won't stop until they uncover the truth. And when that happens, the secret Lois has kept for so many years may be exposed in ways she never imagined. Brooklyn remains steadfast in pursuing her goal, despite all the warnings and attempts to deter her from Lois. She is no longer the girl who could be easily manipulated by her mother's lies and manipulation. On the contrary, she is even more driven by the desire to uncover the truth. Her perseverance led to one of the most significant changes in the original plan, a turning point that Lois never anticipated. This change is not simply a step forward in Brooklyn's search, it also poses a serious threat to Lois. As Brooklyn decides to go further, she inadvertently triggers a chain of events that Lois cannot control. The secrets Lois has kept hidden for so many years are at risk of being exposed, and this realization causes her to panic. She knows that if she doesn't quickly find a way to stop Brooklyn, the entire plan she's painstakingly built over the years will collapse. But it doesn't stop there. Not only is Brooklyn pushing for these changes, but Chase is also playing a role. He is not just a loyal husband but also a sharp police officer. He may not have realized it at first, but his actions are helping Brooklyn connect the important dots. Chase believes that if his wife feels something is wrong, then there must be a hidden truth. This drives him to be more determined to help her find the answers, and this determination is pushing Lois into an unpredictable situation. Lois once thought she could control the situation, but now she finds herself in a dangerous position. The mounting pressure from all sides leaves her no time to think carefully like before. Each passing day brings her secrets closer to being exposed. Brooklyn is not just suspicious, she's acting. Chase is not just observing, he's investigating. And Lois, who once held absolute power in this story, now has to deal with increasing pressure. It's these pressures that begin to drive Lois to take more desperate, reckless steps. She can no longer just sit back and wait because she knows that means failure. If Brooklyn continues her search, she will certainly uncover the truth. If Chase keeps digging, he will definitely find the inconsistencies. Lois must act before everything gets out of control, and that means she must act more ruthlessly than ever. She starts targeting Chase. She knows that if she can shake his trust, she can slow down the investigation. She can sow doubt in the relationship between Chase and Brooklyn, making them lose trust in each other. A subtle hint about the past, a fabricated story of betrayal, or even a purposely staged incident, anything that can be used to turn Chase into more of a problem than an ally. But Lois also realizes that this might not be enough. She needs a more aggressive approach. If she can get Chase into trouble at work, it will distract him. An anonymous accusation, an unexpected incident that gets him suspended, or even something that tarnishes his reputation, these could all be cards in Lois's hand. She doesn't care who gets hurt in the process. The only thing that matters to her is keeping Joe's secret at all costs. But Lois doesn't realize that the very pressures she's trying to push away are now coming back to force her into a dangerous situation. Brooke Lynn is no longer a girl easily manipulated. She is beginning to realize that something is not right, that her mother may be hiding something bigger than she thought. Chase, with his police instincts, is also not easily fooled. He has started to suspect the strange coincidences happening around him and Brooke Lynn. And then, an important question begins to surface in Brooke Lynn's mind. Why is Lois so concerned about this? Why does her mother seem so afraid that she has to stop her from finding her son? This question not only makes Brooke Lynn more determined but also makes her start to see her mother in a new light. The more Lois tries to control, the more she loses control. She has put Chase in her sights, trying to slow down his and Brooke Lynn's progress, but her desperation is only making everything happen faster. When a secret is threatened, it can become a ticking time bomb, and with the current situation, Lois knows she may be standing on the edge of collapse. The question now is not whether the secret will be exposed, but when it will be uncovered and who will pay the highest price when the truth is revealed. The tension between Lois and Brooke Lynn is escalating, pushing them to the brink of an inevitable change. Their confrontations are no longer simple arguments but deepening conflicts, creating a wave of change that no one could have foreseen. This confrontation has triggered a crucial adjustment in how Brooke Lynn approaches the truth. Instead of allowing herself to be manipulated by Lois's lies and cover-ups, Brooke Lynn decides to take a different path. She is no longer relying on vague clues but actively seeking tangible evidence. This is a pivotal shift, as it not only brings her closer to the truth but also drives Lois to become even more desperate to keep the secret hidden. These adjustments affect not only Brooke Lynn but also Lois. Lois knows that if she doesn't quickly regain control, everything could slip out of her hands. This drives Lois to take increasingly reckless and even mad actions. She is ready to manipulate, lie, and even create fake scenarios to mislead her daughter. But these changes result in an unforeseen consequence, a shocking event that Gio is the first to face. Gio, who was previously unaware of the complex plots surrounding him, is suddenly drawn into a strange situation that he can't understand. Unusual signs begin to appear around him, strange people following him, hints about his origins that he's never heard before, and even some events that make him feel he's at the center of some hidden secret. It could be an anonymous letter that reveals part of his past. Or perhaps an accidental encounter that makes him realize he has a connection with Brooke Lynn that he never knew about. Whatever it is, this event is awakening questions in Gio that he's never considered before, and it becomes the spark for a chain of events to follow. Lois, in her attempt to protect her secret, may have inadvertently placed Gio in a dangerous situation. She has done everything to hide his true identity, but now, what she's doing is backfiring. Her actions have placed Gio in the eye of a storm, making him the central figure of a truth that is gradually coming to light. The question now is no longer who is hiding what, but when everything will explode. Brooke Lynn is getting closer to the truth, Lois is becoming more desperate to control the situation, and Gio, who has no idea who he is in this story, is being drawn into an inevitable spiral of secrets and conspiracies. The crazy event that Gio is about to face could be the turning point that changes everything. It could be the shock that makes him question his true identity or a situation that forces Brooke Lynn to confront her mother once and for all. But whatever the outcome, one thing is certain, this secret cannot be hidden forever. Once Gio begins to suspect, nothing will stop him from finding the truth. And when that truth is revealed, none of them will be the same. All the pressure is mounting on Lois, pushing her to a limit she never imagined. She's spent so long controlling the story, hiding the truth, and manipulating those around her, but now, the things she's been trying to conceal are unraveling faster than she can control. Brooke Lynn is no longer the girl who easily believes her mother's words, she is becoming a formidable opponent, determined to get to the bottom of the truth. Chase is no longer just an obstacle, he's a police officer, someone who can dig deep until he finds the answer. Lois's desperation grows as she realizes she has no other choice. The lies have become too heavy to carry. The plans she carefully set up are now turning against her, trapping her in the very scheme she once thought would protect everything. There is no turning back, no more opportunities to manipulate or distract. Lois now faces a brutal decision: confess everything, or let this secret be exposed in the worst possible way. But confessing does not mean freedom. On the contrary, it could be the biggest disaster Lois has ever faced. If she reveals the truth, she will have to face Brook Lynn's fury, who will never forgive her mother for lying to her all these years. Chase, who has continuously protected his wife and encouraged her to search for answers, will feel betrayed for ever trusting Lois. The entire Quartermain and Falconary families will be shocked to learn that Lois has manipulated the fates of so many people just to protect this secret. Worse still, Geo, the very person Lois has been trying to protect at all costs, may be the one who suffers the most. He has lived his whole life without knowing the truth about his origins, and once the truth is revealed, it could shatter the stability he once had. Can he accept the truth that his life has been a series of hidden secrets? Can he forgive Lois for controlling his fate without ever giving him a choice? New disasters are looming for Lois, and no matter how hard she tries to maneuver, she can't escape the consequences of what she's done. If she keeps the secret, Brook Lynn will not stop until she uncovers the truth on her own, and when that happens, Lois will lose any chance to control the story. If she confesses now, she may try to protect what's left, but she will also face the wrath of everyone she's deceived. Whatever path she chooses, the final outcome will be inevitable. Lois will pay for the decisions she made in the past. She's spent her entire life trying to control the fates of those around her, but now, her own fate is beyond her control. The truth cannot be buried forever, and when everything unravels, Lois will have nowhere to run.